Hey guys, what's going on? This is ggurface and I'll be talking about a game between Satiini and SRS, RAZER, and nAni. Satiini is playing as the orange Terran at the lower left hand corner, bologna, macaroni, linguine, and fettuccine. And RAZER and nAni is playing as the pink Protoss. Once again, at the upper right hand corner of the map is steps of 4. There's 2 Zelnaga watchtowers. It's a relatively small map. This is game number 2 in Go4SC2 Cup number 33, the finals. So as I was saying in the last game, we bought the mic and we returned it for $100, and that was pretty much the last straw. Because up to that point, I think I've spent about $300 in headsets, mics, different setups, and all that good jazz. So yeah, not too great an adventure, but I kept on trying all the suggestions you guys were mentioning. But I think some of you guys were trolling me, so in any event, I think it works now. I think it's okay. Let me know what you guys think. You should be able to hear the game sounds and effects and the feedback. I mean, not the feedback. You should be able to hear the gameplay effects. And please provide me with feedback of what you think and if this is sufficient. And the probe is actually scouting around to see if there's a proxy gateway, because proxy barracks are kind of common on this map because it's a relatively short map. We do see one gateway and we do see one barracks and one supply depot at the moment. Refinery as well as a simulator going up, each player just checking each other out, kind of like a dog sniffing each other's. Yeah, alright, let's just stop there. So, once these dogs have sniffed each other out, and we do see that gas is currently being mined, and this probe is harassing the SCV, it's pretty much impossible to surround a drone, SCV, or a probe, because at the early stage of the game, even though if you can get a complete surround on the thing, and we do see refinery stealing gas. Once again, we do see 2 probes coming over to try to attack this one SCV. It does take away some mining time with the minerals. Will the SCV go down? And the SCV, 5 HP, runs away just in time once again. In any event, as I was saying, you can always run. You know how some people, they like to click the units and have them all attack one unit, especially your probes on an enemy SCV, drone, or probe? That doesn't work too well, because if the guy is paying attention, what he can do is he can click his SCV and then click on any mineral patch, and he will basically walk right through you, kind of like wall hack. Not wall hack in the sense you can shoot people or see people through walls, but you can walk through a wall. And we do see one Marine coming out, second Marine coming out, or some early pressure perhaps from Satiini. I keep on wanting to call him other kinds of names with knees inside. In any event, this one Zila is coming out, and the Marine's actually falling back at the moment. We do see a factory going down, so it's not going to be the 5 barracks Reaper cheese that we saw from Moro at the IEM. Oh, it's so funny. I do see a lot of Terran players trying that strategy again and again, and we do see a robotics facility. I think that similar was cancelled. And we do see additional Marines, and we do see the 111 build relatively close. Oh no, not the 111 build. My mistake. This is the second barracks going up for Satiini. At the moment, both players not taking up too much resources on their armies, but they're spending a good chunk of it on buildings, as it is very, very normal at this stage of the game. And we do see a supply block being completely blocked off, and this probe is still scouting, not convinced that there is not a barracks floating around somewhere trying to get in. So this probe is very, very suspicious, and he's going to keep on checking it out and out and out. If you're new to the game, it's always nice to try to watch replays and see what went wrong, what went right, what the other guy's doing, what you're doing, and so on and so forth. I can't tell you how much I've learned from just watching replays. Ooh, and these 2 cross paths, and is the probe going to go back? No, the probe is going to try to go forward. Ooh, another thing is, if you happen to notice, there's a wall in here, right? So if the Protoss player actually clicks inside your base, he's not going to go up your ramp. So he doesn't even have to be near your ramp to know that you're blocked off. It's kind of like a little glitch in the game, or at least I think bad programming. Because if you don't see the block off, and you click inside the base over here, and you can't get in, the game itself knows that you can't get in, but you don't know that. At least the game should let you go up the ramp and see the supply depots. That's how I think. But I mean, that's one way to scout, because if you can click all the way around and your probe's not going in a certain direction, like if you're scouting 3 base and you click all of them, and the first one, it just skips the first one completely, then you know your opponent's the first one without actually going anywhere near it. I will demonstrate what that means in another map, but I think you guys know what I mean. If you don't know, leave it in the comments and I'll explain it to you, but I'm pretty sure you guys are relatively smart. And we do see that the observer is able to pick up a marine and 1 tank force coming out, and he does have one mortal. I think this should be about even match. Ooh, 2 tanks. And they're gonna engage. Force field goes off, and is he gonna be able to pick off this tank? He does pick off 1 tank, and these marines are doing horrible damage to everything basically. And ooh, he does take off the 2nd tank. Wow, he actually managed to take off 2 tanks, and the Zealot is gonna be able to hold. Will he? He needs to retreat this Immortal because Immortals are not that great against Marines, and he's actually taking shots as he's moving back. That's very brave of the Immortal. He needs to move these Zealots forward. We do see additional tanks and Marines coming up, and they're not actually pushing forward, even though that he doesn't have that many units for RAZER and nAni. He only have 2 gateways at the moment versus 2 barracks and a factory. So they're pushing forward. And let's see if we're going to get an engagement. There's a rally point for the factory set inside the base of RAZER and nAni, and now he's actually pushing back. Maybe he senses that there is a... Ooh, this one Immortal just hanging out in the back is probably going to go down, and these troops are coming out, trying to save the Immortal, probably trying to catch the position of the siege tanks out of position, and these tanks actually do fall back as their rally points were set forward, and it's kind of luring and splitting the army up a little bit. This Immortal may be paying for the price of it if he's able to split up all these troops, and wow, he's gonna able to take down this tank, and this Immortal was very good distraction for RAZER and nAni, and he was able to take down a good chunk of the forces. And here we do see these 4 Marines not able to engage these Stalkers too effectively, as they should probably go down the good micro. And wow, that is one very good sacrificial Immortal. Kind of lure your opponent away, and I think the pathing over here wasn't that great. It forces 1 set of units here, one set of units there, so the units were kind of split unintentionally, I believe. And here we do see some counter harassment because he did wipe a good chunk of the forces out, and we do see 1 siege tank. This is the range of the siege tank, very far. 2nd siege tank coming up, and he will poke up the ramp with this Immortal because Immortals only take 10 damage, and he's going to try to take down the supply depot, and the supply depot is going to go down, and it goes down even though there were 3 SCVs repairing. The 4th one couldn't get in, and the supply depot is going back up, and he's going to try to snipe the 2nd. Ooh, he kills another supply depot goes down. Wow, this is not looking good for the Terran player, even though he has these tanks in a good range. These Immortals, they're just waiting for their shield to recharge before they're going in once again, and these shields, man, did they recharge fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going up. And we do see Observer coming in. These things are inside the bunkers, and we do see the medevac in range, and this one full shield Immortal's going to try to poke up once again, and he doesn't want to get in range with those Marines because tank fire is okay, and he's going to try to take out. And this other new fresh shield Immortal is going to try to poke up once again, and he has taken his expansion at the moment. It's usually the Terran player that's containing the Protoss, not usually the other way around. And knowing that he's containing, he moves up a little bit, as this is very smart, and he's setting up a bunker out front. But I think the Protoss players will see this. He's probably going to be able to take off that SCV, and yes, he does take out the SCV, and this bunker's probably going to get cancelled. If not cancelled, then ooh, not cancelled in time. That's gotta hurt. And now the Terran player, sensing the urgency, is probably gonna move out slightly. Scan. Satiini's moving out. He wants to engage, and he doesn't want to engage. He's not sure what he wants to do. Very confused at the moment. The tank range has increased a little bit, and these 2 Immortals are gonna come in and try to snipe off this tank. And wow, that is 4 or 5 shots down. And down the tank goes, and there's still a very good contain. The Protoss player not committing because there's a tank inside, and wow, he puts it in force field. This is a very good play. Usually you want to do this against other players to prevent them from retreating, and he does take off a good portion of the players, but he does want to stay outside the range of the siege, and this is very good micro from both players. This is how you need to deal with the tanks, as the tanks will completely destroy you, and Immortals going in, more tanks are being produced because the tanks are what's saving him from the battle at the moment. And the expansion has gone up. Some probes has gone over there. And we do see Stem and Shield being... And this might be... He's going to push in, and he's going to take down 1 tank. 1 tank goes down. There's still 2 more tanks left. And he's trying to snipe over another tank. And he has 4 Immortals. These 4 Immortals should change the battle for him if he can push in and kill off this last tank. I think he's going to be able to do it. And no, he actually does fall back. Ooh, just 1 more tank to go. 5 Immortals. This is very close. The tanks are just so good against everything. The splash, everything is great. The Terran is defending. This is like a tower defense game at this moment. He needs to siege this tank up though. And it's only one tank siege at the moment, and we do see a war prison being constructed. We do see 2 tanks moving up, trying to get the expansion once again. These mortar probably going to be able to pick off this one tank. It's at the edge, and he does pick up the one tank in 4 shots, I think, or 5 shots. And the command center does land, and it's forced to live again. Oh, it's like playing musical chairs. Only there are no chairs in this game. Just fake chairs that you want to sit in, but you can't sit down forever in. Very, very good contained by the Protoss player, as he is making additional immortals. Immortals are what you want against this marauder and tank heavy army. Well, the main problem is the tank, as he has gotten quite a bit of kills. Ooh, and look at those immortals burn. Take 2 shots, splash damage, not very, very good. You want to stay outside the range of those tanks. Additional tanks being produced at the moment. Let's take a look at the... Ooh, wow. The Terran player has actually gotten down to 1 supply for a minute. I mean, 1 minerals and 2 siege tanks coming out. He can't afford that much losses. He really needs to take this expansion, as his natural, I mean, his own base is not going to have that much minerals soon. And he's going to try to push out against it. And then force field goes off. Very, very good force field on the top of the ramp. Cannot move these units where they want it. And this medevac is a little bit out of position. He's kind of like out, but it's mostly immortal, so he can't really shoot the medevac. And we do see another force field. And then these command centers forced to live. And these tanks want to get out because they know there are no more minerals. He needs more minerals. He cannot get any more minerals, and more forces are containing the Terran as the base is getting saturated. Natural expansion for nAni, SRS, and nAni is getting saturated. 2 Vikings coming out. I don't know if Vikings are such a good idea, even though they give sight. Ooh, and here we're going to see the final push perhaps for the Terran player, and 1 tank is actually unsieged. Not very great, and 1 tank goes now, and now it's just the infantry, and this tank needs to get siege up right away. Siege, and he does siege, and he does have good range of these units, and these infantry are falling back. But at the moment, if you look at the unit count, it's not looking very good for the Terran player, as he doesn't have that many resources, and this tank goes out, and Satiini doesn't call GG and leaves the game. Woo! Very, very nice contained by Protoss player, very unusual. Hope to see you at game 3.